Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Alyssa and I'm so thankful you are here for this mid-September budget closeout. If you didn't watch the video already, I will link it in the corner up above where we set up the September budget. On this channel, I create budgeting content around basically my personal budget as a single 25-year-old woman, and then also around my side hustles as I do have over $200,000 in student loan debt. So I'm really trying to pay all of that off by the time that I am 30. So we have less than 5 years to go, people. So the crunch time is on. But for this video, we will be closing out the beginning of September, the first 2 weeks, and then in the next video, we will be setting up the mid-September budget. So this is my budget category worksheet, and I do use the highlighter method, and I use the Budget by Paycheck Workbook by the Budget Mom. She is always linked in the description box below. And today, before we get too far into it, I am using a new microphone today, so I would love if you guys can notice a difference. I really hope that it works. I typically film on my phone, so I'm trying to improve the audio of the videos, so I'm hoping that this microphone works a little bit better, and I'm trying to invest into my YouTube channel a bit more. But these are all of my expenses for the first half of September, and all of my calculated expenses down here for all of the budget categories. I went ahead and did this off camera just to speed up the process a little bit in terms of us closing out the budget. So if we go back to the beginning, so this is the calendar that we set up at the beginning of the month. So this budget was from the 1st through the 14th, and I do then get paid tomorrow, which is the 15th of September. And so really there wasn't that many events at the beginning of the month. As you see, the second half of the month is much busier, but the first half wasn't too crazy. So I was able to stick to my budget and actually save a lot. The goals for the month, as a reminder, is to save, pay off debt, and then start some new savings challenges, which I did do actually. So diving into the budget here for Paycheck, I did receive the $16.52 as my base salary, and then I did receive 2 commission checks for $13.17 in total. Then for rollover, it was $18 that we rolled over. However, we did have some extra income that we used. I think it was actually just one piece. I used some savings to pay off some energy bills that I wasn't expecting. This was from my old apartment that I didn't realize I hadn't paid yet. So I did transfer money from my monthly savings that I used for rent and utilities into my checking account to then pay off this bill. So for the savings used, we're going to write 0 for the budgeted because obviously I didn't budget to use anything, but then we did transfer $67. So for the total income, we had $16.52 plus $13.17 plus $18 plus $67 gives us $3,054 as the income for the first half of the month. Now going back down to the actual expenses here, this is where we're really going to use the expense tracker to kind of monitor everything. So for rent, I did end up paying $400. I actually put it into a monthly savings account or checking account, and that's what I used to pay. So I save half of the rent every paycheck, and then that's from that account is where I pay the landlord. So I never have it coming back into my checking account, just to make things very simple. For electric, we did use that $67 to pay the electric bill. So for the Acorns, that's just in the bills to pay. That's the one that comes out every Thursday, which is $20. So we go back to the expense tracker for investments. We had $120 and we had $220 for a total of $40. And then therapy, I believe I had 1 session. So we had therapy, which is $25. And then for pet insurance and life insurance, it is, let's see here, $37 and $22. We'll call it that. So it did come out $37 and $22. And then there was one other expense, and I'm not sure how I'm going to calculate this going forward, but I did have a copay for a doctor's appointment that I had like a few weeks ago. I wasn't kind of expecting it. I can't remember how I normally paid it, but it was $25 for that appointment. So I did pay that, and that shows up here in the self-care. There wasn't any other kind of unusual expenses this month except for the energy, the electricity, and then the UW Medicine copay. So if we add all of the bills up, we have 400 plus 67 plus 40 plus 25 plus 37 plus 22 plus 25 gives us $616. Then if we take the 3,054 minus the 616, gives us $2,438 for everything else left below. Now, variable expenses is always my weak spot in terms of budgeting. So for grocery, I ended up spending, wow, that seems like a lot, basically $171 on groceries. There was some miscellaneous counted in there, but I went to Walmart and I just didn't do separate transactions. So I ended up spending way more than I had anticipated for groceries. Now for eating out was basically 100 on the dot, and I will round up for these. Gas and car, if we go back over here, let's do $94 there. And then for investments, so investments are calculated here, but this number, I need to subtract the acorns from up here. So if we had 72.54 minus the 40, gives us about $33. I'll round up on that one. And then for fun and entertainment, so there was nothing in here that's going to be counted as fun and entertainment. So we will have the 114 for fun and entertainment. Wow, I'm happy that I was under on that, under on investments, which is okay. I would like to be as close to that 40 as possible. And then gas and car, that's like almost right on the money there. Holiday, I know this by heart. It was $15. It was one of my best friend's birthday and I didn't calculate it earlier. So I just ended up Venmoing her like $15 for coffee or lunch or whatever she wants. And so then I have to calculate that right there. Self-care otherwise was, I believe this amount here is the only other amount. So the total self-care for this 2 weeks was 136.22, but then we have to minus the 25 from therapy, minus the 25 from the UW Medicine copay. This is the 86.22. I bought some vitamins off Amazon. They were having a really good sale. So I ended up getting basically 4 months worth of vitamins, which is fantastic, but for only $86. So I was really happy about that, but it did cause me to go over budget, unfortunately. And then miscellaneous was $75. So I'm glad we stayed over on that. And then I believe travel and pets are both zero. Yeah, 0 and 0. So let's calculate exactly how much I had in terms of variable expenses. Got 171 plus 100 plus 94 plus 33 plus 114 plus 15 plus 86 plus 75 gives us $688. Now we need to take the leftover after the bills, which was $2,438 minus $688 gives us $1,750. So $1,750 left over. And then we get to bring that up here, which I am so happy I'm finally able to start saving for all of my sinking funds this month. At the end of this video, I do want to calculate the total sinking funds and savings that I saved, just so I can give you an idea of how much of this total income actually went to savings these first 2 weeks. And I'm very proud of it. For the sinking funds, when I put the cash or I send the money into Ally, which is the high yield savings account that I use, I do automatically calculate it here so I remember. So I was under in some of the sinking funds, and it's really because of myself. I didn't go to the bank early enough, and then I spent absurdly on other things that I shouldn't have spent money on. So everything kind of stayed the same except for the sinking funds for this couple weeks. And if I would have stayed on track for groceries, and there was one other thing too, self-care, I probably would have done a lot better, but it is what it is, and I'm still making progress, and I was able to put money aside for each of these categories. So for the sinking funds, so we have 40 plus 20 plus 20 plus 100 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 50 plus 50 plus 50 gives us 390. And the stars means it was cashless. So the car insurance, car maintenance, and pet insurance deductible all are going into my high yield savings account. So 390 is great. Then we need to subtract that from the 1750. So 1750 minus 390 gives us $1,360 left over for extra debt and extra savings. For the Alaska Airlines card, I did end up paying a pretty good amount. So I ended up paying $250. Was there anything else? No, okay. It was $250 to the Alaska Airlines card. So it was more than I had budgeted for by $50. Bank of America, I did not pay anything. And then Discover, I paid $280 towards debt there. $280. So for debt, I paid a total of about $80 more than I had budgeted. So $250 plus $280 equals $530. Then we need to subtract that from the $1,360 minus $530. Gives us $830 left over, all towards savings. So I didn't itemize this out, and I think I need to going forward, but the $853 that I had originally budgeted, I did put that exact amount into my high yield savings account, but then I also did some extra savings as well towards specifically the house fund. So for this amount, I did put $400 towards the emergency fund and $253 towards the student loan, but I also put an extra $20 towards the house. Oh, this was the high yield savings account transfer. And then I did the ATM, which is the cash transfer. And then I did savings again here and here. So the extra house savings, so we did do $200, plus I did extra house saving of $20 and another $20. And what I had left in my checking account was $21.72. So I ended up putting that all towards the house as well. So the total house savings was $262 is what we're going to write down. And I'm realizing as I am showing you this that these numbers do not add up to the $830. So I wonder if I did something incorrectly here, but I can honestly tell you that I did put this amount because I checked before this video of how much I had left in my checking account and how much I did put towards the emergency fund, the student loan, and the house. So if we do add these up, so it's 400 plus 253 plus 262 gives us 915, but that doesn't make sense because then that would mean we were negative $85, which is completely inaccurate. I'm not really clear where I messed up. I do know that there was a point where I had double counted some things and I thought I had caught them all, but I'm wondering now if that number is because I double counted something again that equivalated to that extra like $80. So I'm not really sure. I'm honestly just going to call it a wash because my checking account is zero at this point because I get paid tomorrow or at midnight technically. And I did confirm, I double checked everything, what was left in my account, and I haven't swiped my card since I would say last Friday. And yeah, so I'm wondering if I maybe miscalculated something, but I'm just gonna leave it as is because I do know at least my savings information and the debt information is correct. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where things got a little bit funky there, but it's okay. I did a really good job in terms of the total amount that I saved. And like I said, I was going to calculate all of this. So we had $390 plus $915. So in total for the month, I saved $1,300, which is fantastic. If we divide that by 3054, so times that by 100, means I saved almost 43% of my income to savings these first 2 weeks, which is so wonderful. I'm very happy about that. Stay tuned for the next video where we set up the second half of September budget. Leave me a comment below and tell me how your September is going. I know with fall coming up, spending can just go off the wall. So let me know what you're doing to kind of keep yourself on track. I know I am trying my best to stay to this budget and honestly eat as many meals at home, not go out to eat as much, and just really stick to my budget so I can reach those financial goals. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video real soon. Bye!